Y'all, I want to know why is it that all the ugly girls try to come for the pretty girl? Y'all want to talk about it? If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Last night's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now look, it's 8:13 p.m. and I know I'm late coming to y'all with this, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I woke up this morning and I just was not feeling good. My body said, bitch, lay down. So that's what the fuck I did. I laid down because my doctor told me, listen to your body and what it is. It's trying to tell you, do not overexert yourself if you was not feeling the spirit. And I wasn't feeling the spirit. I finally woke up and felt good enough to do this. And I'm gonna tell you something. I sat down, I watched Housewives, I watched Married to Medicine LA, and I watched Insecure. So don't be surprised if y'all get some random phone calls at 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm up trying to make my money and please y'all at the same damn time. Yeah, my neighbor husband who in my house. Ow, ow, ow. Speaking of, honey, he might get me pregnant like Cynthia. The episode opens up with them joking with Cynthia about being pregnant, and Cynthia was like, child, ain't no more babies over here. The baby making factory has been shut down. Then she talked about Cynthia being accepting of Noel. It's interesting because Cynthia and I hung out at the Essence Festival last July, and we were having a conversation where she shared with me that, you know, Noel was fluid or whatever the case may be, and I can say then and now that she was very accepting of the situation and didn't have anything or no concerns, and she was like, you know, I love my daughter, and if she cool and great and healthy, then I'm here to support her. I love the fact that Cynthia can be an example and a role model for parents out there when it comes to their children just expressing who they are deep down inside. Cynthia gets a lot of cool points in my book for that one. Then they spoke to Cynthia about the conversation that she and Mike had in front of Mike's daughter, which was hella inappropriate. And Cynthia tried to explain it away by saying, you know, she's also grown and we don't want to hide stuff. But yes, Cynthia, I don't care if I'm 40. I don't want to hear about you being on your knees, sucking my daddy, you know who. Anywho, speaking of motherhood, then they moved on. I love, this must have been the motherhood segment, right? Because they moved on to Marlo and the milkmaid titties, okay? Marlo looked like she all the mothers with all them titties, okay? Is you raising nephews or is you raising little cow puppies? Because Marlo got all them titties. They look fully engorged and full of milk. Girl, they said we got a beef shortage, but we damn sure ain't got no milk shortage because Marlo got all the titties, okay? And I'm talking about whole milk, D milk. This ain't 2%. This ain't reduced fat. This ain't almond. This cow titty milk. Marlo got all the milk. They looked good. I mean, you know, them titties they looked good. It was just too much titties. Her and Nene, it was too much titties. But nevertheless, you need all them titties when you a mama. And they asked Marlo how was she about doing with being a mom T. And she spoke about, you know, loving her nephews and how much it's changed her. And Nene was saying how Marlo used to go shopping, aka stealing out of Neiman's, but she don't do that no more. See, she can't. She can't because she can't be in jail. Then them kids gonna end up in the system. So Neiman Marcus, y'all might not have to file bankruptcy thanks to Marlo when y'all come out of the corona because Marlo got them kids and they making her stay home so she can stop doing y'all wrong. Saks people, if y'all see an increase in, if y'all see a decrease in y'all loss prevention for the grown people stuff and see an increase in loss from the children's stuff, it's because Marlo Hampton came and cleaned out the children's department or whatever the case may be. Now, I put y'all ass up on game early. Whatever y'all recoup from the bitch, I want 20%. Thank you. Okay. A Children's Place, Gap, Guess, Zara, H&M. Her name Marlo Hampton, and she told like this. Don't be fooled, honey. She gonna have all kind of fancy credit cards, but they ain't hers. Check the ID and make that bitch bring a utility bill to make sure it match the ID as well. She need 3 forms of income verification because the bitch is crafty, honey. She be scamming folks from the grave. Right there giving them Ernestine Bernstein ID and credit card, fucking up that lady credit from 6 feet below. Moving right along, they moved on to Kenya being a mom, and Kenya said being a mom was one of the best things that happened to her, but they should have asked her what it feel like to be a baby mama. B-A-B-Y-M-A. This goes out to all my baby mamas. This goes out to all my baby mamas. Speaking of baby mamas, we got 2 baby mamas. This lady here talking about, she saw me talking about, hey, ain't you Lil Wayne baby mama? I told her I ain't nobody baby mama. I'm her wife. Y'all remember that episode of Tiny and Toya? Baby mama. That's when I knew then I didn't fuck with New Orleans people with y'all illiterate sound and ass is baby mama. Ain't nobody baby mama. All the New Orleans people finna eat me up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I don't want y'all to beat me up or put no voodoo in my Creole seasoning. I'm so sorry, I did not mean it. I didn't mean the New Orleans people, because you know y'all rough out there. Y'all will shoot a bitch for saying hello. It's like, damn bitch, why your cousin died? Because he was nice. I don't understand y'all. I stay the fuck away from Magnolia, 4th Ward, 10th Ward, Battery the levees broke. I just stay the fuck out. The only time I fuck with New Orleans is in Essence. And bitch, I don't leave the convention center and the surrounding area. Other than that, security. Kenya being a mom, I definitely think it was a great thing for her. Then they went on to Porsha and PJ, aka Dennis with a bow on, and said that she be giving all kind of like stanky faces or whatever, or like cause she ain't with the BS. And I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that at that. So then they moved on. You see how classy I was with that? I ain't finna be Eva. I ain't finna do you like Eva did you, Porsha. Even though I'm itching on my left hand side to do so, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Ooh, y'all, it's coming. I gotta change the subject, Rick. Ooh, I'm not gonna do it. What this paper say? Porsha, ooh, I'm not gonna do it. Porsha gets Kenya all the way together, right? So Andy starts asking, you know, Porsha and Kenya, y'all made up, y'all bonded over the baby thing. What happened? How did y'all get to a point now where all the shade throwing? And then now the Housewives of Atlanta have created, listen, and that's the issue. You guys have created too many nuanced and conditional rules. First of all, there's shade. Then now there's fun shade. Listen, there's nothing fun about taking a part of a person's life and exploiting it for a laugh or a joke or a dig. And your definition of fun shade and my level of internal pain as it relates to that fun shade may not be calibrated, it may not be equalized, may not be one. So what you think may be fun may be hurtful to me, and that's why it's just best to reserve shade for a bitch that you're actually trying to shade. And Porsha and Kenya got into this whole debate over what was fun shade versus not fun shade, and they was cool until Kenya said one thing and Porsha said some fun shade back, but Kenya didn't take it as fun shade, and that created World War V, and now they just throwing shade at one another, and it was a hot damn mess. Then we find out, and I didn't follow the blogs on this one as it related to Kenya with the Shamia and the breaking of the water. Y'all can drop that in the comments and better help me understand. But it was my understanding from what Porsha and Kenya and what I could decipher in the midst of them talking over one another was that the text messages between Kenya and Shamia actually happened sometime before Shamia went in labor, and Kenya misrepresented those texts as Shamia calling her when she was going into birth because she had no one else to call. Did I get the story right? If so, I'm sure Kenya was absolutely knew what she was doing and trying to mislead folks into doing that. So the caller calls in and says, Kenya, when you throw shade, you act like you're surprised when there are consequences. Then Kenya and Marlo get into it. You know, rarely do I side with Marlo, but I definitely get what the caller was saying. And it's like, yeah, you know, it gets infuriating sometimes because Kenya can explain her way out of everything. Nothing is ever, yeah, I see your point, or yeah, you know, I was wrong and I apologize. There's always, I did this because you did that. I acted this way because you made me. You forced my hand. And it's just, you know, Marlo's got a point. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It makes it hard to have sympathy for Marlo when it comes to Kenya ruining her event per se, because Marlo, you're another one, and I guess it's just a Florida thing. I can't even come at Marlo because I'm not gonna lie to you. I can be the same way. Marlo, you cut deep. Like that time you told that woman, you know, even your own mama don't want you. That actually was disproportionate to what it is that Kenya had did. That was one of those digs that you reserve for when you never want to see a bitch again and you trying to exile her to death or whatever the case may be. But much to Marlo's point, Kenya, you can't be talking about you brought no marching band in here over some shit that happened 4-5 years ago, and we've been cordial and nice and seen each other and hung out since then. I could just respect the whole situation more if people would just be honest and it was like, you know, yeah, bitch, you know, I was playing it up for the cameras. Now, as it relates to people's businesses, that's another one of those things that I can't get down with Kenya. The minute you do anything that is loosely related, so loosely related to her business, it's an all-out attack on her business. But then she can do the shit that she does, and it's like, oh, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I really feel like all that, when you tried to ruin my business by drinking the water out of it was like, girl, like, stop. That was not any type of ruining to your business. That was a display. Anybody with 2 fucking brain cells understands more times than not there's water in them display bottles. Shit, I went to a goddamn liquor sponsorship event not too long ago, and it was brown. It was Coca-Cola in the bottle where it was supposed to be brown liquor. Okay, I guess they said they know y'all niggas gonna steal and try to drink it. Y'all finna drink up our good shit. It's bad enough we invited y'all and y'all didn't have to pay for the food or the 2 free drinks we gave. You ain't finna take the shit off the table. Then, you know, at Marlo's weave launch, despite the fact that I don't even really think Marlo got a real business, what I saw was some used hair hanging up on the damn wall or whatever the case, with some clothespins or some tacky tape or some duo lash glue. Nevertheless, if they dumb enough to buy the stolen hair, then go ahead, girl, get it, and when it's got, steal some more. Despite whether Marlo business is fruitful or not, it was still disrespectful, especially for somebody who is so, you try to ruin somebody's business, and it was just like, Kenya, I think you just look for excuses to be mad and do dumb shit to people. Kenya and Tanya then get into it, right? Let's talk about that. Under no circumstances was it right for Kenya to call that cookie lady and do what she did to Tanya. And I'm glad, and Tanya's a non-confrontational person, and you can tell Tanya don't have that sister girl in her. Tanya's not the one that's finna, you know, whoop your ass on the playground. That's just not who she is. But I am glad that Tanya found a little bit of pizzazz and a little bit of spice, and she fought as best she could, her personal best, to be Tanya and express herself about that cookie lady situation. It was messy. I think that was the one time Kenya did apologize, and Tanya told her straight up, you thought you had a bullet, but you was shooting blanks. I just, you know, I question anybody who tries to hurt the softest person. To be honest with you, it really ain't nothing that Tanya Sam could do or say that'll make me mad and make me want to hurt her that damn bad. You know, the only thing I could get out of it is, Kenya, anytime you see somebody with a goddamn semi-decent relationship and a happy family, it triggers something in you because you don't have it, and you want to tear their ass down and blow their shit up so they can be miserable like you. Everybody is not miserable. Tanya loved her man. She did not have to lease him. She has not ran through several men. And do I believe that Tanya man was at the thing potentially flirting with that woman? Yes, I do. Do I believe it went anywhere beyond that? No, I do not. Do I think Tanya's man has the capacity to cheat on her? Yes, he does. But what man don't? Okay, what man don't? And you know, every now and again, and those of y'all who are married, you know, you can sit up here and tell this fucking lie if you want to, but let's not pretend like every now and again you ain't been somewhere and somebody hollered at you and it made you feel good and you engaged and entertained them a little more than you should have. Now, did you give them your phone number? That's a whole nother situation. And see, here's the thing. What Tanya should have did was told that cookie lady dial that number. That's what she would have did. And that would have confirmed had Paul gave the lady the number or not. Nevertheless, Mr. Telephone Man, Is something wrong with the line? We want to know if something was wrong with the line, or if he was Gerald Levert and had the number to the private line, or did he deserve this? Talking to your answering service. Ooh. I'm going to reduce the singing because you bitches always complaining, and since it's late, I'm not finna flood the time and ride the clock with pointless R&B. You welcome. Moving right along. Candy, I gotta call bullshit on you. Alright? I gotta call bullshit on you. Tanya was extremely upset when it came down to the cookie lady situation because she felt like some of y'all were just too quiet about the situation. And Candy gonna say, well, I wasn't there. Candy, you've been on this show for over 10 years. Since when has you not been somewhere hindered you from having an opinion? And I like how Tanya closed your ass and said it was principle. If somebody would have did that shit with you and Todd, Candy, you would have expected them to say something. Wrong is wrong. And it's not a matter of a Candy go try to say, well, Tanya, we cool, but I don't even really know you like that to be fighting for you. It's not even about fighting for you. What it is about it, y'all need to call a thing a thing. It is so obvious that Candy and Kenya have formed a pact. And I think Cynthia might be in that pact as well. And the reason why I say this is because at some of the most unsolicited of times, you find Candy end up interjecting in favor of Kenya, right? And it's like, damn, Kenya's not even drowning right now. In this situation they're talking about don't even include you. But you found Candy several times kept trying to throw Kenya a lifeline or dig her out the trenches. And here's the thing, right? Not that anything is wrong with that. If you've made up in your mind that that's your homegirl and you're not going to let her drown, I actually commend you for being loyal. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, don't try to play on our intelligence and pass the shit off for something that's not. The crux of the situation is Kenya was your homegirl and you just ain't want to say nothing that was it not in favor of her. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Not all this, I ain't really cool with you. And because Tanya was right. It is the fucking principle. And there's a way you can be friends with somebody and still be real when they do some fucked up shit. That shit that Kenya did was fucked up. Now listen, y'all gonna have to drop that in the comments and help me out with this because they kind of confused me when it came to Cynthia and if Cynthia was involved and she knew the cookie lady. Somebody help me understand what they was trying to say, because Eva, for whatever it was worth, it was Porsha. Porsha was trying to point out the fact that, bitch, Cynthia, your ass is not fucking innocent and you had your hands all tied up in that cookie lady shit too. Whereas Candy has made a pact with Kenya, it is more than obvious that Porsha has made a pact with Nene, and part of that pact is exposing Cynthia for what they say. They say, Cynthia, them girls say they know you for your works. And they making it a point to try to expose that you could be, you know, shady as hell. You know, to be determined, because they've yet to give us some very solid receipts. We still ain't got to the bottom of if you said what you said and Giovanna got to record it. And Lord have mercy, Jesus, my pressure is already high because I wasn't feeling good today. It was low. But fucking around with this shit now is high. Because just seeing that Giovanna gonna be on the screen and we got to relive Snakegate was enough to run up my pressure. So then we bring up Candy and Todd and the bomb with the baby. One thing I will say, surrogacy is very not widely talked about in the black community. I don't know anybody personally who's experienced surrogacy, gone through it, or has considered it. And I'm sure that there are people out there who have, and I'm sure that it's probably more prevalent than I know. It's just one of those things that is hush-hush. I'm not a woman, but from what I was able to ascertain, you know, for some people there is a certain level of shame associated with it because they feel, some people may feel like they could not accomplish the one thing that they were biologically put on this earth to do. And while I don't get it, you know, being a man, I can, you know, understand the thought process. I found it very refreshing and enlightening that Candy was as open as she was with the surrogacy thing. Like I said, especially considering how taboo it is in the African American community. And I love how Candy was an advocate for the fact that you still have that bond with your baby. That is your baby. That is your child. Then Andy chimed in with it, and Next week we're going to get to see Andy's baby. I thought that that was very great. And I think that because Kandi does have the attention of so many people, that this may help a lot of people when it comes to surrogacy. Case in point, Buffy Purcell from Married to Madison. You know, Buffy made this big old fuss about wanting to have a family when you still had the ability to have a family. And I do think we saw lastly that Buffy and her husband were considering surrogacy. Shouts out to them. Kandi brought up Todd and Kayla, which made a lot of people uncomfortable. Their relationship this season, the going back and forth and the dynamics between, you know, Todd raising Kayla and treating her more working class in terms of his decision making and the things that he's for, versus Kandi's style of parenting is somewhat different, but her financial situation for a very long time has been different, and that's factored into that. Then we get down to the Mama Joyce and Todd situation, where Kandi says that they're actually doing great right now, that the baby brought them together. I say it's temporary. I say that the baby has just put a patch on that wound. Y'all have had several moments, you know, where y'all had Ace, you know what I'm saying? And I guess after the novelty of Ace, Mama Joyce went back to her ways. Now y'all have Blaze, and once Blaze started walking and talking, she'll go back to feeling what she's feeling. The reality of the situation is, and I do like the way, I think it was either Marlo or Porsha worded it, and it was, and this would have to be the way I would rationalize it if I was Todd. It's not that she dislikes me or hates me. It's that she loves Kandi so much and just wants the best for Kandi. It's just always going to look out for Kandi's best interest. That would have to be the way I would have to tell it to myself to get past some of that. Because honestly and truthfully, fundamentally, Mama Joyce, in my opinion, has proven that she just don't see it for the union. And I can honestly tell you, I feel as if Kandi walked in at a day of tomorrow and said, I'm getting a divorce, Mama Joyce would probably clap her hands and rejoice, versus consoling Kandi and being like, what happened? I loved him. What's going on? That's just my 2 cents. But hey, what do I know? Then they move on to Eva with that very powerful scene about her getting Marley's name changed to Sterling. You know, one thing that I do like about Eva is that she was very honest about what their relationship was. Eva said, bitch, I was in LA fucking around, fool out line, jump on the dick, and I fucked around and got pregnant. And since I got pregnant, I guess I was like, you know, fuck it, let's try to do the damn thing. You Kevin McCall, you producing, you playing around with Chris Brown. I ain't really got shit going on. You know, just a little piece of JCPenney ad over there, a little bit of TJ Maxx ad over here. You know what I'm saying? This could be a good situation. Thus far, since I've been out in LA, it's about the best I could do. So I'm going to rock with it. I'm just going to, you know, do what I can do and roll with it. You get my drift? Hang if you can hang. No pain, no gain. But it was too pain and very little gain. Too much pain and very little gain. Because she said Kevin was abusive, so on and so forth. And then she said that, you know, in terms of the adoption process, Kevin came to Atlanta and showed out, so on and so forth. Here's the reality of the situation, right? Kevin is mentally ill, and he's one of those people that's just trying to fuck with Eva's mind. You don't bit more have any interest in that child. Your interest is in punishing Eva because you're sick somehow or another. If you love Marley, make the ultimate sacrifice. There's 2 things I see. If you love her, let her go. Obviously, you don't question the household and the situation that she's in. Eva's got a good man who loves that child. She's in a good home, in a good situation, and it's better than what you can provide right now, Kevin McCall. So that's your first option, right? And I know a lot of people who are parents are like, fuck that, I'm not giving up my child. Let my child go. The second thing is, Kevin, get yourself together. Get yourself together. Get into therapy. Get medicated. Get into counseling. And foster a relationship that is with your daughter that Eva and Mike are comfortable with. You know, y'all can FaceTime, Skype, and slowly build something if that's what you want to be. But you should, Kevin, you have clearly shown your ass is unstable down to the Greyhound begging for people to cash out you money so you can get a ride. Something ain't right. And it's, you know, I ain't qualified to diagnose it. And speaking of, I was about to say, when I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, the people ain't teach me nothing about mental illness. Let me take a pause right here. In my comment section, I have been getting a lot of people recently who have been saying things like, he always got to bring up that degree from Florida State University. And why he always trying to, oh, we know you got a degree. And I'm just like, wow, why are y'all so triggered in taking it like that? It's, number one, it's not me trying to make it seem like I'm better than somebody because I went to college and they didn't. And number two, if you really want to know where the line comes from, it comes from a Nephew Tommy skit where he called the lady and accused the lady of stealing the people, the caterer, Vivian, and accused her of stealing the people's pots when she was catering at their house. And the lady Vivian said, when I went to school and got my degree in cooking, they ain't taught me nothing about stealing nobody dishes, baby. That, you see what I'm saying? So it was a play off of that line. And some of y'all get so triggered. And I'm like, is your life that fucking miserable? Or do you regret your life choices? Now, let me tell you one thing. Yes, I am very proud of my education. But I don't have my head that far up my ass that I would try to use that as a way to down somebody. And it's just, it bothers me sometimes that some of y'all lives are so fucking miserable and you regret your life choices in the situation that you in, that you can't even see a joke for a joke because it triggers you into thinking about all the shit that you don't have. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not changing my stripes for nobody. When I went down to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, they ain't teach me shit about trying to appease a bitch feelings. If you don't like it, bitch, go find another channel. Fuck you. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Because see, I'm finna get off this shit now. I might not even call y'all about them other damn shows. I don't fucked around and got mad. I'm sick and tired of you bitches coming over here trying to tell me how I should do my shit for you. This is not customizable Dineva. This is not your Dineva. This is not build Dineva. This is funky Dineva. I don't do what I do for you. I do what I do for me and you just happen to share in it. The days that you don't like it, if it ever gets to a point where you don't like what I'm doing, here's the beautiful thing. You don't pay for it. I'm not making you be here. I encourage anybody, please go and find somebody who speaks to your heart and your insecurities and your lack. Because when I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, they taught me a hell of a lot about surplus. I don't know how to operate in an emotional deficit. Catch. Porsha and Dennis. They get down to Porsha talking about Dennis fucking dogs and fucking other women doggy style and all that type of shit. And I will say, you know, Porsha, I was very impressed about how mature you sounded when it came to your dating situation. And when Andy asked you, do you think you and Dennis moved too fast and yada yada yada, and you were like, surely we did. You know, Porsha, you sounded very, very mature about the situation. I do wish you and Dennis the best. And I do like what you said, that it did require some kinks for Dennis to work out and for him to curtail some type of stuff. And hopefully y'all won't rush the flow. Good to see that y'all quarantining in there with Mama Diane and all that. And yeah, y'all need to invite Lauren and her baby over with that big ass house y'all in. Don't have her over there in that apartment by her damn self. She want to come over there and eat some of the made food and breathe some of that big square footage air. And last but not least, they start having a conversation, and I forgot who it was that said they didn't feel comfortable commenting on their friendship, and then Nene jumped in and said, well, now Candy should understand why I didn't feel comfortable commenting on my situation with Wendy Williams. And it was like, no, Nene, your situation with Wendy and the other couple situation was comparing apples to cement, or whatever the case may be. And then Nene and Candy started going back and forth, and I actually threw out something, bitch. I found it funny as fuck when Kenya said, why is it all the ugly hoes coming for the pretty girl? And then Nene started attacking her skin, and Kenya started attacking her face, and it was bitch this and bitch that. This reunion got real gutter based, honey, just real hood, you know, hood. With this Candy and Nene part. And you know, Nene, I've been lighting your ass up a lot this season, but here's the thing, Miss Big and Bad, right? I like the fact that Andy said you talking about one or two people. You talking about Kim or Candy. Nene here trying to make it seem like Candy just ain't got no fucking reason for feeling no type of way about Nene, and she's so bad and she's so real that if she was talking about Candy, she would say Candy's name. Nene, the simplest way to put this thing to rest, this is the reunion. The reunion is where we get closure. The simplest way to shut Candy ass down and make her look small and make her look stupid is to reveal who it is you was talking to. But even a bitch who flunked the SAT and didn't get into college can use the context clues to realize that you were talking about either Candy or Kim. Now listen, based on your current status of your relationship or going into that commentary with Candy, one would lean in favor of Candy. You did a live with Kim, so it's hard for me to believe that you shading Kim and kicking it with her on the live. You were talking about Candy. And then you want to get so defensive and get mad like somebody is wrong for assuming you was talking about them. But if somebody was like that black boy with the bald head that wear wigs and the red lipstick that's on Instagram, bitch, you talking about that description fits me. And if you were not talking about Candy, knowing that that description could fit Candy, what you should have said in that situation is, I don't know why they keep giving a cast member spin-off season after season after season, and I'm not talking about Candy either. That would have been the best way to clear that shit up. And I think they said somewhere along the lines, Nene texted Candy and said she wasn't talking about her, whatever the case may be. But, I mean, Nene, you give us nothing left to believe that you were. I mean, I don't know how we could think about, and then you had some of these Nene stands talking about she could have been talking about Lisa Vanderpump and people from, girl, Nene ain't bit more studying than white women. She ain't bit more talking about nobody from no other franchise. And I hate the fact that Nene and Candy got to arguing the way they did, but I'm going to tell you something. They were both operating off of borrowed time anyway. I don't think Nene has ever liked Candy. I think Nene has always felt a way about Candy from the moment Candy stepped foot on that damn situation. And I think over time, Candy has found a way to just tread lightly around Nene, and they found some sort of common ground or whatever the case may be. But I think Nene, being under all the pressure that she has been under this season and all the volatile relationships, I feel like she's just like, fuck it, and I don't longer have the capacity to fake in front or whatever the case may be. There's something else that I want to bring up too, right? Nene seems to be celebrating the fact, and a lot of y'all keep celebrating the fact that, oh, it's all about Nene. They spent y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. They spent the whole time talking about Nene. She must be important. She must be relevant. Let me tell you something. I could buy that, and I would wholeheartedly subscribe to all of that if they were talking about Nene in a positive light. Of course, if somebody comes on and causes causes conflict and drama, of course they're going to be the meat and potato of the goddamn situation. This whole show is predicated upon conflict and drama. So yes, you could be 25% of the filming hours, but if you are part of the biggest drama, quite naturally that's where the bulk of the conversation is going to lie. So miss me with this whole, they stay bringing her up in a negative light. And fuck what you heard, all publicity is not good publicity. Coming from the king and the queen of publicity. That's some bullshit. At any rate, y'all, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. All of y'all full of shit and y'all need to drink this tea. Listen, y'all, this tea is selling like motherfucking hotcakes. Come get it and flush, They need to make a tea that flush out bad spirits. Let me call TLC and see if they got a spirit tea. Fuck the skin tea, buy the ISO tea, but I'm finna start selling some shit called spirit tea to get them bad spirits up at you. Let you shit that out. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll call y'all hoes later. Bye. Shit done fucking around and made me mad at goddamn 8:45 at night.